Hey, what's up there? Jeff Lerner here, and in this video, we're talking about one of the most important elements of business today, which is email marketing. Particularly if you're in any kind of an online business that sells products on the internet, something that's, whether it's e-commerce or drop shipping, or even if you have an affiliate marketing funnel or anything that captures people's information and then sells them stuff online. And I would argue even if you're an offline business, email marketing is still a huge part of your strategy. This is one of the most important aspects of marketing today. And especially if you're an online business, because the functionality of your business can automatically integrate and trigger so much of the email functionality. That's why it's especially important. But even if you're an offline business, you can be doing certain things manually, like let somebody no-shows their appointment at the dentist office, you can still be tagging them in your CRM in a way that can initiate certain things with email. But so again, online or offline, you gotta get your email game together. So we're gonna look at some of the, a pretty long list here. I got like 8 or 10 things that you can do to be a very sophisticated and effective email marketer. And the thing is, there's platforms now that make this stuff really easy as long as you just take the time to set it up the right way, okay? So let's dive into one of my favorite things, which is email marketing. So did Jeff just really say that email marketing is one of his favorite things? Jeff must be a huge nerd, right? Well, maybe, I don't know. But here's why it's one of my favorite things. It drives massive results in my business. And it can in yours too, and it does in most of the online businesses out there, most even offline businesses. But again, like I said, think about Amazon. Amazon doesn't just rely on people to come to their store. They email you every day. If you've ever been to Amazon, you've created an Amazon account, you're an Amazon Prime customer, they're literally emailing you every single day. Think about all the websites out there, eBay, Overstock, Rakuten, they're emailing people every single day. In fact, the better results, it's shown that actually you get better results by emailing people every day than every other day. You get better results by emailing people twice a day than you do every day. In fact, my business right now, we're working on getting to where we can email people every morning and every afternoon. And people say, oh, that might be overkill. But listen, you got to understand, with the volume of email content happening now, as long as you're emailing intelligently, which we're going to talk about in this video, there is just a domination factor where quantity trumps everything else. You just gotta get the impressions, okay? So that's not even one of my tips in this video, but I'm making it a tip to say, listen, retrain yourself to think in terms of quantity and volume of emails. A lot of people are worried they're over communicating with their audience. Look, in the marketplace, as crowded as it is, you can't over communicate with your audience. Your limit is literally your own words and your own voice to how much communication you can and should be doing. Now, let me show you this, or you can't see it, but I'm gonna just kind of walk through. I've got my screen over here. This is why email marketing matters. I have a thread on my screen here that is called it's our sales alerts thread. It tells me, I have a digital education company. We sell online courses for people around marketing, business, people that want to start a business, people that want to grow a business. So I have a sales alert thread that tells me like anytime somebody buys something. It's the middle of March right now. It's March 14th when I'm shooting this video. It might be published a few days later, but it's March 14th. So if I look at this thread and it shows me when did people enter our ecosystem, when did somebody get on our list versus when did they buy? Like, this is today, March 14th, right? So first sale, this person joined on February 26th. So it's been 2.5 weeks that they've been on our list. Next one, March 1st. So it's been 2 weeks. Next one, or the one before that, December 27th. They've been on our list for 2.5 months. One before that, March 7th. They've been on our list for a week. One before that, November 2nd, 4.5 months. This person's been on our list. Very, very few people just immediately buy, like on day one. Your emails will actually drive by far and away the largest amount of your sales. If you're in any sort of an e-commerce business, it's incredibly powerful, and yet it's incredibly neglected by most people. Most people are so focused on conversion rate optimization, on-page optimization, getting their checkout cart just right, getting their sales pages just right, installing all these plugins and incentives, and they're discounting their products on day one to get people to buy. And the reality is, people were going to buy anyways. They just needed some time if you stayed in touch with them. Okay, I hope that I'm making my point. That said, assuming that you're with me and you're sold on emailing, let's talk about some intelligent email practices. The first sort of cluster of tips that I have here are basically what I call practice intelligent emailing. And intelligent emailing is basically built around two ideas. One is getting the most people to actually do what you want the email to do. So making the email as consumable and respondable as possible. So the person's most likely to respond to the email with whatever you want them to do. The second one, and I probably should have said this first, is just getting the email delivered. Like getting it to actually show in their inbox so it doesn't go to the spam folder, or if they're using one of the personal emails like, Google or Gmail or Hotmail, so it doesn't go to the promotions or the social tab. These inboxes have gotten so smart about trying to decide what the user actually wants to see that you've got to play the game and say, hey, how can I be as consistent as possible with what the inbox or the email service providers actually think are personalized communication. So that's the bulk of what we're going to talk about. The first tip for doing that is to use trigger-based emails. And this is obviously easier with online business than offline business, but again, you can do it with offline business too, just by having a CRM where you tag your contacts and it initiates triggered sequence or triggered automations in your email provider. So trigger-based emails basically mean that they're based on the behavior or the actions taken by the subscriber to the email list. So let's say I'll use my business Entra, for example. We have email sequences that are specifically initiated. If somebody comes, so they watch a presentation, like a sales presentation on a course or a product, and they go, oh yeah, that looks good. Or they click the button and it takes them to a checkout page and they fill out their information. And let's say that they don't finish filling out their information. They get distracted or they close the page. Our system says, oh, this person was on the checkout page. They were close to making a purchase. So let's initiate a specific email to them that say something like, hey, we saw that you were considering making a purchase, but you didn't finish. Let us know if there was an issue or if we can help you and answer any questions or finalize that decision. Oh, and by the way, here's a link that'll take you right back to that page if you want to finish checking out. That's the email you want to send to that person that was triggered or initiated based on their behavior. What you don't want to send to that person is an email that says, hey, have you heard? We offer courses on digital education and how to start a business and affiliate marketing and e-commerce and course creation and starting an agency and all this stuff, because they already know all that. That's moving them the wrong direction in your funnel because they were already beyond that preview stage and they were about to buy something. So you don't want to move them backwards, you want to move them forwards, right? That's a trigger-based email. The next thing that you want to do is time-based emails. And this can function in two ways, where you say, okay, what time was this person on my site? Because you know that that's a time when they're on the computer and they're engaged in, commerce or browsing or shopping or whatever. So that'd be a great time to email them, right? Because they're probably online. And it's not perfect science, but it's a higher probability conclusion to say if I email them at the same time that they were on the internet yesterday or the day before, they're more likely to be online. There are some email service providers that will actually intelligently send emails based on, and they learn over time, it's machine learning. So they'll look and see when do the people that are on your list actually open their emails, and they'll start emailing those people at those times. I use SendLane for my email marketing, and it has a pretty cool feature that does that, where let's say somebody's been on my list for 2 weeks, they've gotten 14 emails over 2 weeks, and they consistently open those emails at 3 p.m. Well, SendLane will learn that, and it'll start emailing them at 3 p.m. because they know that's when they're online, and then it's most likely that the email will come in at the top of the inbox when they get online. So again, two types of time-based emails. One that's dependent on your email provider, your email service provider, and it learns what time they're online. The other that triggers off of when they were online, when they were on your website. Okay, the next thing that you can do is promotion emails. So a lot of people forget about this. They write an autoresponder sequence and they write a standard set of follow-ups, and they forget that hey, the greatest opportunity, one of the greatest, depending on especially what type of business you are, but one of the greatest opportunities in marketing is people love things that feel real time, that feel organic. That's why, for example, on Facebook, If you go live on Facebook, Facebook is going to organically syndicate that video more than if you just upload a video, because they know that users of a platform tend to respond better to things that feel live or like they're occurring in real time. That's why it's such a good email strategy, if you can, when you do a broadcast, to reference current events. Like if the Dodgers just won the World Series and you say, hey, congratulations Dodgers fans, we're running a special, like that makes it, that links it to current events. It makes it feel more real time. And the way that you can do that without having to actually write the emails in real time is to leverage promotion, like holiday-based promotions. So go ahead and load up all your Christmas emails now and pre-schedule them. Go ahead and load up Valentine's Day emails, just wishing people happy Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Easter, Independence Day, July 4th if you're in the United States, New Year's, like write all that stuff ahead of time and queue it up. And it does wonders for your engagement. That's what we call promotion-based emails. The next thing about emailing, and this applies to all emails, is less is more, shorter is better. And I need to hear this as much as anyone, because I like to use a lot of words. If you've watched enough of my videos, you probably know that. And just know that when I email you, I tend to do the same thing. So I'm always having to remind myself, like shorter. And it's hard because I have so much I want to say. But shorter emails, and also text-based emails. You see so many marketers, and even like I think about MailChimp, for example. MailChimp is an entire email marketing platform that actually originated from a guy that owned an agency that wanted to create these brochures or like email newsletters, kind of bulletin looking, very graphic visualized newsletters for his clients. And people are like, oh, we want to send out an email newsletter. We want to have these these like visually engaging emails. And he created this platform to do that. And I'm like sitting here going, I don't know, maybe when MailChimp came out, that was a great idea. But now, and all these email providers, they give you all these templates. It's not just MailChimp. It's like Aweber and Constant Contact and iContact. They all, SendLane even too, the one I use, they give you all these templates. Templates are very visual, they're very rich, and they're very likely to get you out of the inbox and into the promotions tab. Because if your email looks like a newsletter, then the internet service provider that's receiving the email, they know it's probably not that high of a priority email for the person who's receiving the email. So they'll shove you into the promotions tab. So you have all these people, and frankly, you have all these agencies selling their business clients on the value of these beautiful emails that they create them, and they say, oh, I need high resolution images so I can do this. Well, first of all, the higher the resolution image, the slower the download speed, which makes it harder for them to read the email, especially on a mobile device. And secondly, images end up either getting you in the promotions tab or sometimes in the spam tab. So there's a lot of misinformation about this. Honestly, your email, the best emails, the highest converting emails from a marketing standpoint are like super short, no images, they sound like somebody just like ripped them off in like 90 seconds. If you're gonna do an image, at most, put a super low res image that'll still load fast on a mobile device in your signature, just like a face, picture of you. I have in mind, I have a little picture of me on stage speaking, but it's like, it's rendered in such a way that it's super low resolution. It's not even that good quality, and there's no other images in my emails because more people read them that way and they convert better. And finally, you want to have just limit your emails. Usually in an email, you want people to click something and go back to your website and go do something. But people get so carried away with all these links. They go, I wrote a blog post here. I shot a video here. Go view my website here. Go view my LinkedIn profile here. Go view my Facebook profile here. It's like link, it's like a link sandwich smashed together in the email. So all those links are going to basically tell your email platform that, hey, this is a promotional email. Because think about it. When you email your dad to wish him a happy birthday, you don't stuff 9 links into that email, right? The email companies know that personalized communications aren't fat with links. Even if you say, hey, dad, check out this hilarious cat video, you don't have like 8 other links in the video or in the email. So if you want it to feel like personal communication, which is the key to getting it into the inbox, at most put 1 link in the email. Maybe there's a reason to do 2, but ideally you want to have 1 link per email. Okay, so those are kind of the set of what I call intelligent email practices: trigger-based emails, time-based emails, promotion-based emails, really short emails, minimal to no images in your emails, and to ideally have no more than 1 link in your email. Okay, now let's talk about some other strategies for just creating good emails that are gonna get the best engagement. So first of all, every email, hear me on this, every email should tell a story, should have some element of story. Just like every sales conversation should have some element of story. Everything that tries to move a person should have some element of story. Everything that tries to get a person to feel anything should have some element of story. Stories are the ultimate universal effective strategy for effective business communication. And yet most businesses, very often, they think of like a story as like this occasional, super whatever strategic thing. No, it should literally be the baseline of all communication for a business should be stories. So every email should have some element of story. I also really, really like to use emails that have videos. So again, you get one link, right? Have your link, and this a little bit goes against the image thing, but this is like the one exception that's super powerful. Have your one link in the email be what looks like a video. Like go, put a YouTube video up or put a video on your blog or whatever little, put a video on your website and then take a screenshot of that video and then save it at a really low resolution because it's going to be really small in the email anyways. It doesn't need to be big and rich and 4K graphic beauty. Just a little small, almost like a thumbnail image, and put a little play button on it, or ideally try to save it where you can see the play button. So it looks like a video in the email. It looks like a little video embed frame. And use that as the image in your email and link that to a video. People click video images, what look like video player images, way more than they click text links. So that's like the number one strategy. If I go into any business, any marketer, anybody's email strategy and say, how do I get more people to click my links? How do I get more people to engage with my content? Say, let's make all of your content look, or as much as we can, look like videos. People, and they don't even care. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm gonna click the video and it's gonna play in the email. And then obviously you can't play a video in an email unless you have like a certain type of video with certain plugins on certain emails. But you can't rely on them watching the video in the email. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna open up another web page, whether it's a YouTube channel or a Vimeo channel, or it's gonna go, if you have it embedded on a page, whatever, it doesn't matter. People don't get upset about that. They click the video in the email because they like watching video. Video is the number one thing that people like dealing with on the internet. So use a video embed image that links to an external video in your email. That will like double or triple your click rates overnight. The next strategy is to create what I call an indoctrination sequence. And personally, people say, how long does my indoctrination sequence need to be? Yes. My answer is yes. Longer, better. My indoctrination sequence now is, I have to look it up because I have somebody helping me add to them constantly. But I mean, we're well over 100 emails, so we're at like many, many months. A good friend of mine has an indoctrination email sequence that's 5 years long. 5 years, thousands of emails going out every day with just introductory, informative, instructional, engaging content that's not always trying to sell stuff, but it's like every day you're gonna hear from me. Every day you're gonna feel my energy. Every day you're gonna see me pop up in your inbox. I'm going to win you over. I'm going to indoctrinate you that every time you log onto the computer, every time you think about my product or service, every time your mind goes to my niche or whatever it is that I do, you're gonna think of me because I'm gonna be the most consistent force in your life when it comes to that thing. And you're not going to resist me because I'm not always going to be trying to sell you. Most of the emails that I send people actually link out to my YouTube videos because I want them to just constantly be feeling me and hearing from me. And eventually when they're ready to buy or ready to learn or ready to do whatever it is that I do and know how to do and whatever I sell, they'll think of me because I've been one of the most consistent presences in their life. That's the indoctrination sequence. Minimum, people say, oh, that's great, Jeff. You're telling me to write thousands of emails. No, I'm telling you to start writing emails. Write 1, write 2. At the point where I think that you've actually, you can take a breath and you've got a legitimate indoctrination sequence that you can feel good about, it's probably around 7 to 10 videos. It takes 2 or 3 weeks to make a habit, right? Depending on who you ask. Let's say 3 weeks, 21 days. So if you can do 7 emails every 3 days, that's 21 days. Then if you can get to 10 emails, that's an email every other day for 20 days. If you could get to 21, now you can email them every single day for 3 weeks. Well, guess what? They're in the habit now of hearing from you and reading your emails, right? Be thinking about it in those terms. People think they over communicate in this world. Everybody under communicates in this world. Honestly, I do a YouTube video every other day. If I had more time, more calories to burn and seconds in the day, and just more potential for my human existence, I would do a YouTube video every day. I'd do 2 YouTube videos every day if I could. I get there's only so much of us to go around, but I promise there's no such thing as over communicating in this world. Write yourself an indoctrination sequence, minimum 7 videos, try to get to 21 every single day for 3 weeks, and then keep going from there. The next thing, I'll probably actually have 2 more tips I'm gonna share. First of all, scrub your list. Like, people get all excited about the size of their list. Don't get excited about the size of your list. Get excited about the number of people that are actually opening your emails, and realize that it's a slippery slope. If you have 50,000 people on your list and only 5% of them are opening your emails, over time that's gonna get worse. Why? Because the companies like Gmail and Hotmail and Yahoo, they're seeing that only 5% of your emails get open, that 95% of people aren't opening your emails. And they're saying, hey, these must not be very good emails. People must not be that interested in this person. So we're gonna actually put more of them in the promotions tab or more of them in the spam folder. And what's gonna happen? That 5% is gonna go down because fewer people are even gonna be seeing them in the first place. Well, now 5% is 4%, 4% is 3%. And it's a downward spiral because the platforms go, well, now only 3%. And they're not like, oh, well, we created the problem because we spammed half of his emails. They're just like, well, people don't like this guy. This guy's not on our warm and fuzzy list of people, of emailers that people like to hear from. So we're just gonna keep like sandboxing him and stifling him, and it's just gonna go down, 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 down. So the way that you reset all that and you kind of stay out of that loop is you scrub your damn list. If you have 50,000 people, it'd be, and only, what's 5%? 2,500 of them are actually interested in your stuff. You'd be better off getting rid of 40,000 people that haven't engaged with your content in 30 days. And now you're down to 10,000, you still got the same 2,500 people. Now you're at a 25% open rate. We should show their emails more because they're at a 25% open rate, and the open rate can actually start to climb. In fact, good email service provider platforms, a lot of them will actually mandate that you hit a minimum open rate for all of your emails, because otherwise you bring their platform down as a whole. So scrub your list aggressively. This didn't used to be the right guidance, but it is now. It's actually counterintuitively better to be constantly shrinking your list to make it as optimized and engaged as possible, so that, because the percentages are what you're after, not the gross numbers. And then the final tip is install a push notification platform into your website so that you actually get another way to reach people. Emails are great, but people only get emails when they check them, right? But people a lot of times are on the internet many more hours a day than they're in their email inbox. So with a push notification, you literally pop up in their browser if they're on a desktop, and there actually are even some push notification platforms that can get them on a mobile browser. It pops up in the browser and they see, hey, you've got a new message or whatever. And so what I do is I set it so that every time I send out an email, I also send out a push. And if I schedule a bunch of emails, I schedule a bunch of pushes, and I send them to the same content. So where you see the value of this strategy, let's say, for example, a YouTube video. So if I have a list of 10,000 people, and let's say I have also 1,000 people subscribed to my push notifications, then I publish a new video on YouTube, and then I email 10,000 people, and I push 1,000 people, and I say, hey, check out my new video on YouTube. I'm covering, best strategies for email marketing for e-commerce and dropshipping businesses, right? Like this video. You get people clicking to it from an email, but you also get people clicking to it from their browser that aren't even clicking to it from an email. So to YouTube, it actually looks like somebody more navigated just directly to your video. So YouTube sees, oh, you got people coming from an email promotion, but you also got people coming straight from their browser or from, clicking a direct link. Man, this must be a pretty good video. Let's turn around and show this video to more people. Let's, crawl it and figure out what it's about, and let's show it to more people that are interested in email marketing. And you create this organic momentum because you're hitting people multi-channel. It's called multi-dimensional or multi-channel follow-up. And you basically can just peg your push notifications to your emails. Really simple formula. Just got to go, and I'm not going to recommend a push platform. I know which one I use, but I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just going to tell you to Google push notifications, and there's plenty of good platforms out there for that. But use it. It's something that I don't see nearly so many people using. And let's just look at it this way. The push notification space, that little bit of real estate on the browser, which if you've never seen it, it's like it pops up in the corner. That real estate is not nearly as crowded as an email inbox. So frankly, I get more traction on content from 1,000 push subscribers than I do from 10,000 email subscribers because it's not so crowded. They get a push notification. It's not buried inside of 100 other ones. That's what I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. That was a lot. We're gonna hit 30 minutes if I keep going. So hey, if you wanna learn more about just anything related to using the internet to make your life better, especially with business and like make you more money, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you've liked this video, I'll ask you to let the world know, hit the like button for me. If you have a question, post it in the comments below. I love answering questions. Nothing makes me happier than to feel like I'm not just a voice shouting in the wilderness and people give me feedback, they ask questions, they let me know that they watched the videos. Even if you hated the video, tell me. I'd rather you tell me in the comments than hit the thumbs down button though. Ideally you liked it and you wanna know more, just feel free to ask me a question, let me know if you liked it, and definitely subscribe. I am on a mission to make life better. The internet has completely transformed my life. It has set me free. I'm able to make money, I'm able to travel, I'm able to be home with my family, I'm able to pretty much do whatever I want legally because of the power of the internet. And yet we live in a world where so many people can't say that. So many people feel stuck, they feel trapped, they feel in a rut. And the internet is like freedom in waiting for so many people. And my mission really with this channel is to get that message out in as many different creative ways as I can. So if you like to be a part of that mission, subscribe to my channel. Make sure that if you're on YouTube, you click the little bell so you get notified when new videos come out, and I will keep the videos pumping. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you being part of my mission. Appreciate your time watching this video. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.